Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Saturday Morning Coffee. This is going to be our E3 Extravaganza, maybe, or something. I don't know. We were all just sitting around talking about E3 and figured, why not record a podcast? And when I say we were all sitting around, who would that be? That would be Kyle.
Yo.
From True Friends Gaming and Chibi Kai Plays. Also from True Friends Gaming is Jordan.
How's it going, everybody?
And joining us as well is Scott from Scott Dog Gaming.
Hello.
So, guys, E3 starts tomorrow.
Yep.
Discuss.
Why would you already date the video?
I mean, E3.
We made
guys,
it.
E3.
We made it in 7 seconds.
Yeah, E3 starts today.
Yeah, we're that good at editing.
Jesse won't edit this. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I'm excited for E3. I always am excited for E3. Although I always realise that after games come out that I saw at E3, I'm always disappointed. The ones that really pique my interest. I can't think of any game from an E3 where I thought, "Oh, I have to have that," and then when I got my hands on it, I was like, "This is as good as I thought it was going to be." Not a single one.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think my favorite thing with E3 is generally just the TFG guys. Like I said, we always like to marathon and just kind of hang out together and watch E3. Usually making fun of the people that are presenting. I'd say that's 90% of it.
Mhm.
And then last year, since Ricardo got to go, that was more reason because we wanted to find him in the audience. And
Did you ever find it?
no,
Aw.
he probably blended in with all the other sisters and tryhards.
Yeah.
See,
but-
he should have brought a big, giant poster that said, "Hi, guys," or something.
Or True Friends Gaming.
I
Right,
thought you were
no,
gonna say-
exactly.
I thought you were going to say sombrero.
Oh, even better.
Yeah.
Strangely enough, it would have still been hard to find him. There's quite the audience. Plus, of course, there was the guy that wasn't it E3 last year that he got big off. He kept changing shirts during the Sony conference.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
I think he changed his shirt like 7 times or something. It might
Yeah.
be more.
Every time it cut back to them talking, he had a different shirt on. And then they had like cameras and crap out and they kept switching all this stuff. But we should probably get on to the E3 for 2017 that Ricardo might be going to. I don't know. He's heading off for some
think-
gaming event.
Yeah, no, I think because if I'm not mistaken, EA Sports is having a thing that isn't a part of E3, but it's like on the same street as E3 and at the same time. But it's an EA event that I don't know.
Which is confusing because isn't EA the first to present?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, who knows, dude? I don't really know.
Yeah, EA conference is on Saturday today.
Yeah.
and then I think Microsoft is the day after, and then
Yep.
Sony and Ubisoft, and then it's then it starts to get into that Nintendo and split into various games and so on and so forth. So
Yeah.
I am looking
Makes
forward to
sense.
that. I mean, over here in the UK, obviously it's on at an odd time, but obviously with the wonders of streaming and everything else, you kind of get to see everything pretty much instantly anyway. So I did quite like waking up in the morning and before going to work, just having a little look at what the sneaky games where sort of came from left field are. Unfortunately, over the last few years, there isn't too many of those. They tend to you tend to know what they are before they arrive because they've been in development for 2 years and the sequels anyway.
And they were at the prior
Yeah.
E3.
Yeah, they've been at E3
Yeah.
for the last 7 years.
Like I expect to see FIFA 20 there this year.
Why? There's no development in FIFA games. What are you talking about?
No, well, that's the thing though, because that's still the story I always go back to from Ricardo going to E3. For whatever reason, Madden's got the most strict policies on crap.
Well, should we go on to EA? Should we talk about EA as
I
what
know.
we expect from them?
And right now I'm going to talk about how Ricardo wasn't allowed to film near the Madden thing because they didn't want him to spoil anything.
I did
So
quite like
let's-
that because obviously football is a game of chance, pretty much. You know, there's only so much you can spoil, surely.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's why I said unless they found out who won the Super Bowl.
Oh no,
Yeah,
they saw
it's a-
Peyton, they saw Peyton Manning's helmet.
Oh, no.
That's out the bag now.
It's a big conspiracy. The Super Bowl is actually played 2 years in advance.
So what do we expect to see from EA other than sport games and
Yeah, I mean, there's the mainstays, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's the sports games, and I think the only, from what I understand, I don't know if I've got this right, but I think what I understand, the only difference in like the sports games will be that FIFA has like a legends mode, or the players you can get like legend players in packs in their ultimate team. I think for the first time that might be coming to PlayStation, which if it hasn't been in PlayStation before, is probably quite a big thing.
I think that has been on PlayStation.
I'm sure that's what I read somewhere, but I don't know if that's true. But ultimately, FIFA, Madden, NHL,
Battlefield?
all are going to be the same. Battlefield, I'm interested in.
They've got the expansion in the name of the Tsar.
Yeah. Battlefield, I'm interested to see what they do next, if they do anything next. I mean, I would imagine they're going to expand on Battlefield 1 and then potentially look at a different genre. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes back modern again, which will be a shame. Yeah, I'm interested to see what happens from there.
Yeah,
I'm interested to see what they do with Battlefront 2.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's the biggest thing for me, without knowing if there's anything else under the radar that I'm sure there is. There's going to be
Titanfall 2 expansion or DLC.
Let's be honest. There's going to be, and also there'll be like Peggle 107.
My daughter would be all about that.
Plants versus Zombies again.
There's a new Need for Speed coming, which I've always loved the Need for Speed series.
I like to see more stuff with Sims. I love the Sims games, but
actually, if I'm not
so I don't know.
mistaken, there's a Sims Mobile coming.
No, not that crap. I want.
Also, I feel like Sims has very much run its course.
Yeah,
I think it had its time. I'm going to be honest with you. But yeah, the Star Wars game, because they're focusing more on a single player experience, I'm excited about.
Yeah,
but
I'm
also very, very concerned.
Yeah, it could really go either way. What I'd like to see is they actually have for the PlayStation version of this Battlefront 1, they have a VR experience in it that was actually, it's really fun. You're in a X-Wing and you're flying around shooting shit, and it's a lot of fun.
Battlefield 1?
No, Battlefront.
Oh.
You said
Star
Battlefield.
Wars. Did I? I meant.
You were talking about Star Wars, then you said Battlefield. They sound very alike.
They do.
Yeah.
It's always confused me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking for it. One thing that really agitates me is that I get that they go for the multiplayer side of it. That's kind of where that game series has always come from. Fine. But it's Star Wars. I would like to play it with my mates in a campaign style setting, a cooperative campaign where you're rebels or stormtroopers or whatever, but you're playing through a story.
Whenever you have an army of like 100 guys, it seems like making 2 of them players doesn't seem like it's too much of a hassle.
Yeah,
I just I like that idea that they follow the story through with some stormtroopers a bit, like maybe like the Force Awakens, that they split sides and that sort of thing,
or even the original Battlefront games.
Yeah, anything along those lines. But I just like the idea that it's a more cooperative campaign mode than here's a single player mode because everybody whinged it wasn't there last time, and here's the multiplayer stuff again. I get the feeling that's what we're going to have.
I can see it, unfortunately.
Or they'll try the COD approach and be like, let's make it really cinematic. So there's just like a bunch of explosions and your character leaping from like cliffs and crap onto snow eaters.
That being said,
the
last game looked amazing.
No, yeah, it looked really good. And it was fun. I had fun playing it.
Yeah. It's definitely a fun game.
Anything else from EA that we're expecting?
This FIFA 18 is going to be on the Switch.
Should be neat.
I don't know how that's going to play out, but
I would imagine it will look worse and be harder to control. other than that, it will be the same, I would imagine.
Yeah, but
I'll probably agree with you on that.
And I would also imagine that trying to play online.
You can forget that.
Or anything, would be an issue if you're out on the bus. But that being said, the idea that you could earn points and cards while you're at work, while you're at school, while you're on a commute, I'm sure that'll appeal to a huge amount of people.
Like me, for instance, that will be neat.
You understand this is football, though, yeah?
I love FIFA
soccer.
games.
Okay.
I love FIFA games.
Okay, just to clear that up.
Yeah, no. See, growing up, actually, soccer was my sport. You know, everyone has their sport, and that's what I played. I
played a lot of soccer too.
I enjoy it.
Is like Madden and NBA. None of those are going to the Switch. Actually, NBA is going, but like none of the other games are going to the Switch, to my knowledge.
Yeah, but I guess there's a massive audience for football worldwide, whereas you know, although there's a massive audience for American football, for baseball, for
but I'm just talking about. I'm surprised that they're not really focusing on any other sports in general.
I guess FIFA is the most obvious one in my head.
No, that makes sense. I get it.
To switch over. Have we got anything else on EA? I guess my question would be: is anyone actually excited for what EA are going to announce?
Not really.
EA kind of sometimes will like have like one big-ish game, and then
who's doing Sea of Thieves?
It's Microsoft, isn't it?
That's Microsoft.
Oh, then no.
I mean, I'm really intrigued to find out if EA are ever going to change. Because EA obviously have this business model. It clearly works. It's get a game out in any state. It's get the same game out year after year after year and cash in. That's what we all see it as.
And if it's not done in time, you sack the whole company.
Yeah. And if someone else is making a good game, we'll buy them. You know, which is a business model when it works.
Yeah, it's a company.
You know, I just wonder if at some point there needs to be you know what, FIFA this year is the same as FIFA last year. I'm not going to buy it. You know, there needs to be that pushback for EA to change the way they do things. And actually, that won't change. They'll just buy the games that look like they're going to be popular.
Yeah.
But yeah, my excitement level for EA is pretty low, I have to say.
Yeah, I wouldn't claim to be excited about anything, but
yeah, I'm interested to see like what they're gonna show, but there's like nothing really from EA that I'm like anticipated on seeing.
Yeah. Well, next, actually, I guess after EA will be the company that's got so much to reveal, Microsoft.
Yep.
Yeah.
Microsoft fanboy over here.
Yeah. No, well, it's more because there's nothing that I know of that they're going to do. They don't really have exclusives anymore because they got, it's going to Windows and everything now for.
They got Sea of Thieves. That's the only exclusive that I see.
Crackdown 3.
They must have more than that, because let's be honest, the biggest seller of consoles at this moment in time is exclusives.
That should be the only that in the control.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing.
Crackdown 3 is coming for PC, Jesse, and Xbox.
Yeah, I think they're all coming for both, but it's still a Microsoft thing, isn't it? You know, I mean, I would take it that if you've.
I was saying that Sea of Thieves is just for the Xbox.
I thought they had.
I think it's on both as well.
Beta. Yeah, I thought they had alpha for the PC version.
I think what
maybe it'll come out on the PC like after, but right now I'm looking at it and it just says
Microsoft
Xbox One.
Possibly last year was that we don't want to go down this road of stopping people from playing games if they own a PC, trying to get the PC market on board. So I think we can safely assume that if not all, the vast majority of Microsoft exclusives will be on PC as well. I think we have to take this that there will be people who own one console, be it Microsoft or PlayStation, and don't own a PC, and it's those people that they're also fighting for with Sony and with Nintendo, I guess. And I guess Sea of Thieves, we just spoke about this. It sounds like it should be a huge amount of fun. I've just got a huge amount of concern that it's not going to be fun, and I've held off playing the alpha for that very reason.
Yeah, same. And in all honesty, though, with Microsoft, I mean, let's see what they would actually probably talk about. We don't really know if they have any new exclusives to.
Well, let's touch on the big thing.
Yeah,
Scorpio. Which I think, by all accounts, they trademarked the name S.
What?
The Microsoft S. Maybe a name for it.
Huh. Wouldn't that be the Slim?
No, I don't think so.
You are absolutely right. Microsoft has filed a trademark for a mysterious S logo today.
I do my research.
It's an S, but it looks like they cut through it like a no S.
Oh, logo.
I haven't seen the logo, but
you didn't say logo. You just said S.
I think they've just gone for the trademark as well, to be fair. But either way, I guess it makes sense. Scorpio S makes the most sense. I've always wondered why people give their names sort of code their projects code names and then change it to something different when it builds up a massive backing for that code name.
Well, plus some of them, like I think the Nintendo Revolution sounded a lot cooler than the Nintendo Wii.
Yeah,
Yes,
I agree.
I will agree.
And I think that's the thing is that from people who follow this stuff, it builds up this sort of, oh, I'm looking forward to this, I'm looking forward to this, and then all of a sudden the name changes.
I mean, ultimately, it's branding is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You have a brand and then you change it on them.
And I have to say, I think Scorpio sounds quite cool,
Yeah, no,
I agree.
Yeah.
if I'm honest with you. Anyway,
yeah.
we don't really. I know there's been specs announced. I don't think most of us will have paid too much attention to them.
Teraflops.
They're saying
got
it's-
some floppy bits.
They're saying it's going to be more powerful than the PlayStation's.
The PlayStation Pro.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
got more teraflops.
Yeah, but no one knows what teraflops are. Even though we've had the description about 7 times, I still don't know what they are.
Yeah, GPs have
Nor-
talked to us about them multiple times.
Nor do I care.
No,
I
but
mean,
it's this.
it's
It's
gonna be
apparently
VR
the selling
ready.
point.
It's going to be VR ready, which
Yep.
poses a very big question.
Why Microsoft isn't making VR?
Or are they? Is the Rift going down that road?
I don't know. It seemed
Or-
like they
or
were
by all accounts,
excited
I
by
don't know.
augmented reality.
Yeah, by all accounts, they also trademarked or registered some kind of patent on glasses. So it could be
Yeah,
that
what's
they're
the
going
new
down
thing
their own-
called?
direct reality, something like that.
Okay.
I don't know. Anyway, but that was literally all I can tell you about it. But they could be going down the road of their own thing, but also they potentially are bundled in with Oculus,
Maybe.
and I think that could be big.
Yeah.
But
Huh.
I guess the plus point is that with the Scorpio being designed the way it's been designed, you would assume a port from Windows to Scorpio is going to be pretty straightforward. Hello?
Yeah, probably.
You just stunned us all into silence.
Wow. It
Yeah.
doesn't happen very often. So you'd assume that if that's what they're going down, then the conversion of games that there might be shit games on available on PC at the moment, but the conversion of games to
Would be
VR would be straightforward and would be sufficient. And that's the thing that the Switch hasn't got. That sufficient steady flow of games, and it could be that you see backwards compatibility, new releases that are going to work on both consoles, plus some kind of VR context. It could be big.
Yeah, they could do VR Halo 6.
Ooh.
And here's
Yeah,
to
they-
hoping if they reveal anything with Halo 6 that they try and make it more like the old Halos and not like 4 and 5.
So
Yeah.
with the Scorpio, are people excited for the Scorpio?
I'm not going to get it, but I'm excited to see
You know what it
because they have
seems-
something new.
It's difficult when you've got a PC. There feels like there's very little need for it. And what does it? It adds higher color depth, far more frame rates, and 4K support, and
Yeah.
potentially VR support. So
And
if you have a
whenever I
PC
play an Xbox One and don't want any of that, I don't.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
I'm the same way.
if you have a PC that can handle some of that stuff anyway, you're not going to get it. If you've got an Xbox One, chances are you probably haven't got a 4K TV.
Yeah.
Well, not to mention, I think if
Yep.
Jesse's probably in the same boat as me, where I didn't even have that HD TV until like a couple years ago.
I'm
What is
just
wrong
of the
with you,
mind. No, I've had an HD TV for a while, but I'm just of the mind. I already have an Xbox One. I don't really necessarily need to upgrade it. If I didn't have an Xbox One already, then yes, I'd be going
Yeah,
for the Scorpio. But
I guess I don't quite understand the market. Is my only concern is that yes, you can go for those people who don't have a gaming PC. Absolutely, that makes perfect sense. But at the moment, every game that comes out on the Scorpio, I'm going to be able to play on my Xbox One. Is what Microsoft have said. I'm pretty sure.
yeah, well, this is like Xbox's version of a PS Pro.
Yeah,
You know,
so I
it's-
don't. Yeah, but it's been rebuilt from the ground up, hasn't it? Whereas,
Right.
I'm not sure that happened with the Sony console.
Yeah, no, they just upgraded the Sony one, and you're absolutely correct there. And they're basically, this is almost their, okay, we saw how the Xbox One did. How can we make it better without bringing out a new console?
Yeah, I don't know if they see it like that. I wonder if they see it as this is our new console and this is what we're pushing. But then that poses the question as to why make everything backwards compatible. And I think what they're trying to do is they obviously have learned from a mistake where they made errors when the Xbox One came out, and everybody thought they were trying to take the piss out of consumers. So they're desperately trying to rebuild those bridges. And I think they've done an all right job with that, if I'm honest. But I think they're now going too far the opposite way. It feels to me like the Scorpio hasn't really got much to offer the gamers they've already got, other than a higher frame rate,
Yep.
and a better resolution.
Well, that's why I didn't really think of it as a new console, more so just an upgrade.
It's a 0.5.
Be interesting to see what they're selling it as. It'd be really interesting to see.
I just really hope they call it Xbox 1.5.
Yeah, there'll be something completely different, I'm sure.
Xbox 4.
I think they're going to try and move away from the Xbox thing completely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll make something called the PC.
You should get one.
Oh.
I don't really see how that's an O moment.
Why don't we start upgrading his connection speed first? Then we'll talk about his.
No, I just need a good internet. You know, if you want to send some internet providers to my city, go for it.
On that note, after the Xbox, the Microsoft one, it's that same day later on in the evening is the Bethesda one.
Yeah. I like Bethesda.
Yep.
I do too.
Same.
I've been playing a lot of ESO lately, Elder Scrolls.
Speaking of which, that'll also be coming to the Switch. We'll get to see exactly what they did to Skyrim.
Yeah. That's one I'm not really going to pick up.
I mean,
I wonder how many gamers.
I'm not going to pick up the Switch.
I wonder how many gamers own a Switch but have never played Skyrim.
I would say that's a small amount.
Really? I think younger gamers that pick up the Switch probably.
Yeah, but then they're never going to pick up Skyrim anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm confused by that whole market of what they're going for. Is why get excited about a game that's been out on every console for the last 15 years or however long it's been out, 10 years?
Yeah. I think it's because
they haven't got anything else
you
to play.
You can take Skyrim on the go. Like people do have laptops and stuff, but
as I said, PC gamers.
Yeah, but playing Elder Scrolls on a laptop on the bus or something is
but let's be honest, we can only be a matter of years away from being able to play Skyrim on our mobiles.
I agree.
I think somebody's done that.
So
I'm not sure if it was Skyrim or not.
That's going down a completely different argument, but I just think a conversation point. I just think Skyrim was a fantastic game. Don't get me wrong, I loved it. Yeah. But I feel like now might be the time for something new, and there's rumors of the new
and I'm
Elder
just
Scrolls
cynical.
game.
I'm hoping that it's going to be worse than the original Skyrim.
Why?
I don't know. I just want to see that happen. I want to see it be such a big event that they're we're finally getting Skyrim on Nintendo, and then it's the new release of the new Skyrim, and then this one can't keep up with the original Skyrim.
I'd like it to be exactly the same as the original, if I'm honest with you. All those years have passed and there's no changes whatsoever.
I just want it to be the original, but they're yeah, almost, but we couldn't get the dragons to work, so we took them out. Replaced them with Mario.
Oh my god.
No, I don't know. For some reason,
I do like the idea, that the dragons are Spyro or Yoshi.
Goes around.
Do we know anything about what they're doing? What they're I think there's talk of a new Elder Scrolls game, isn't there? There's also obviously the Morrowind expansion has just come out,
which I want a copy of. Bastards. There's Elder Scroll Legends is probably going to be there, which is No, it's a card game. I believe their response to Gwent, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
probably.
There's also a new Wolfenstein coming, which I didn't play the newer one of that, so I have no idea what to expect as far as that goes.
Okay.
And Starfield.
Yeah. Anyone have any idea what that might be?
Starfield?
Yeah, it's Garfield's brother. No, it's an open world sci-fi game is all I know. So I didn't know if it was going to be like Fallout or everybody's favorite game that came out for PlayStation a year ago.
Oh god.
But I don't know. There's rumored other secret things coming out, but I don't know. I have no idea really with Bethesda.
Yeah, you never can tell with them, and I hope it's a new Skyrim-esque Elder Scrolls game rather than the online stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be cool.
I get the feeling it won't be, or if it is, it won't be as good, and that's something that worries me. And the same bugs that have been in every Elder Scrolls game ever will still be there.
I'll be honest, I like the bugs, so they can take
A
them
little
out.
bit, yeah.
There's
A little
something
bit. It'd be
nice
nice for
about
them
them.
to fix one and break 7 other things, but no, fine.
That's like saying in a game with 500 characters to hire a cast more than 5 people, and that's just crazy talk, Scott.
Good point. Well met. Okay.
Yeah, so they get their picture from Bethesda Land they tweeted out.
Yeah, that looks neat.
Well, and the thing is, though, there's games we don't know what they are.
Yeah. I think that's true for every developer, though, isn't it?
Like
To a
there's
point.
Fallout, you can see Skyrim, and
You
then
know,
there's just games on there I have no idea what they are.
Does make you wonder if Fallout is due anything. There's talk of Fallout, obviously, on the VR machines. We could potentially see that.
That is something
That-
they talked about.
yes, and I hear that is supposed to be amazing.
I'm still
Amazing.
concerned about the movement. Is my biggest thing in these games.
I can see
I
that.
can see movement being awkward, unless you had one of those movement pads.
Honestly, though, like I've played some VR games where it's controller-based movement and stuff like that, and I don't mind it at all. I kind of enjoy it.
I guess the problem with Fallout is because it's open world, so open world, you're kind of constantly spinning round.
I mean, they do have on this list of things that are
Yeah.
going to be there. They have Fallout 4 VR for the
Oh, okay.
HTC Vive.
Yeah,
So,
I'm looking forward to seeing what, from a PC point of view, one of the first real big games will be
For
like
VR.
in VR. And a full length game rather than a
little.
yeah, rather than
Yeah,
a
game
trial
that-
of a game.
Yeah, or a
Or like
VR
a
game that can take you like
2-hour
an hour or
experience.
two to
Yeah,
beat.
I mean, even how long is Resident Evil to complete?
Depends, actually. That's
Yeah.
10, 15 hours at most.
yeah, which is I'd say
So
is
it's
a full
plenty. It's
length.
plenty for a game, but I'm talking. You're talking what 40, 50 hours in Fallout.
Yeah.
If you want to do all of it.
without
Yeah,
getting
it-
sidetracked.
Yeah, if not more.
Yeah, and I think that's what I like the idea of. It's a full game. It might be crap, but here's a full game and someone's done it, and now maybe other people will do it as well.
They better.
Mm.
I really want VR to be better, but that's a different
Yeah.
conversation for a different day.
And I think that's
One
something
week
people have been saying forever.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, maybe not forever, ever.
they're
Ever,
they're
ever, ever.
they're getting there though. I think they're
Yeah. I think
on there.
even now, looking at some of the games coming out on the Vive, the step up is there to see.
Mhm.
They're still short little games, but I think that graphically they're pushing it a little bit more, and that's quite good to see.
Who's gonna do like the publish, like showing the games like the new Shadow of Mordor, the Shadow of War?
I don't know. They'll probably have their own
Do you
thing.
think they'll be at like the PlayStation or Xbox conference or something?
No, they don't.
Well, they're not. They actually have their own one. It's
Yeah,
on.
so what they do is they tend to put all
Wednesday.
these. Yeah, they tend to do all these things, don't they? And then they have their own games, have their own, or developers have their own slots for individual games. So it'll be one of those. It's big enough to be one of those after the first.
Oh
one, I
yeah,
think.
Jordan, you said Shadow of War.
Yeah.
That is on Wednesday.
Okay.
Maybe 6 your time. 6
Okay.
p.m. I believe.
Well, there you go. That has now been confirmed.
There you go.
Confirmed.
Do we want to cover Ubisoft next?
Ubisoft is next.
It
Theirs
is.
is on Monday. At
Shall I
1
do this
PM
one?
PC. If you'd like.
Not interested in anything they've got to say. Let's move on. Ever.
Hey, now that
The opposite of me because I love Ubisoft.
Mhm. What
I
do you like about them?
Most of their games.
Really?
Yeah, I have fun playing Splinter Cell. I have fun playing Rainbow Six. I have fun playing Assassin's Creed. I have
Assassin's
fun playing
Creed.
Far Cry.
Do you
South
have
Park.
fun playing? Do you have fun playing the 18 different versions of Assassin's Creed, or just the first one?
I do.
All of them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, you need to get out more. I
Well,
am
that's
concerned.
impossible, Scott.
I am concerned that I'm going to see
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed, Far Cry 5, and potentially something like Watch Dogs 3 or something ridiculous like that, and every single one of them will be the same game.
well,
I'm wanting a new Splinter Cell. That's what I want.
there's the new South Park game.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that's
Yep.
slightly different, isn't it? You know, because of
What?
how that's being made. Well, you know, because it's a different game entirely to what they
Yeah.
usually do, and because more importantly, it's got two people who we know are particularly good at what they do, making it.
Yep. I'm intrigued at this really weird game that they're gonna be showing off this year, and that's the Mario Rabbids crossover game. It's Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. No clue. Just have this little picture I'm looking at, and it looks weird as fuck.
Is that being made by Ubisoft?
Yeah, it's by Ubisoft. It's in their press conference.
Wow. I couldn't imagine anything that has Mario in its name being produced by anybody except for Nintendo.
So
Yeah.
the rumors are that Assassin's Creed's going to be Egypt,
Ooh.
Yes,
which
I have heard that also.
really makes me wonder how you run up a pyramid.
You put
Very
one down-
carefully.
More importantly, how you jump off a pyramid into a haystack.
Lay on a penguin. And
It
slide
probably
down.
won't be a pyramid. You'll be jumping off of sphinxes.
A what?
Sphinxes.
I heard what you said.
I-
I had to. Anyway.
I'm hoping they'll just be in actual towns and stuff, and not just at. That's what they go for. Even saying
Being
that
chased-
though,
Being
unless there's
chased
a
by
bunch
a
of
mummy.
unless there's a bunch of obelisks and stuff everywhere, I don't see very many high points to hide.
No, it's an odd one, isn't it? It's different. I like the idea that it's different, but I know deep down it's not going to be different. That's the thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think the
it's-
biggest changes came between 1 and 2,
Yeah, it's just
and then maybe 3 and 4.
This comes from so many times of seeing the same thing. Far Cry is a great example, and it's the same gameplay mechanics. That's the thing that agitates me.
I will say the Far Cry is the original still my favorite, like the Instincts and
Yeah.
Instincts Evolution.
Yeah, I mean they're all right, and I think this is what I would say about Ubisoft is that the games they make are okay,
I have fun playing them, and that's the
but
most
they're
I can
just
ask.
so similar. I just want to see something different. There is talk about a new title.
Yeah,
No idea what it is. I think there was a screenshot leaked, and it looked a lot like the Ghost Recon. Not Ghost Recon. Was it Wildlands? Is that Ghost Recon? Yeah, that engine. Was that them?
yeah.
I get the feeling it's made in that engine, which wouldn't be a surprise.
I
But
mean, they made Steep. That was a newer game they did, and For Honor. That was a newer game they did.
yeah,
The Crew.
you know, but,
Yep.
For Honor should have been in my opinion, For Honor should have been a £15 game.
Yeah, but when we got to play it, I still had fun. But it's definitely
I'm
one
not
of those
arguing
games.
that. I'm not arguing that these aren't fun games
Well,
for
I don't-
a patch.
I was saying, I don't know what the campaign or any of that's like to be able to judge that. Because once
No,
a
but
full
even-
game came out, they did have that at least.
Yeah, but even that it's this. The mechanics are so, and I'm sure there's mastery of it, which I could never do. I'm sure there's this skill
Yeah,
level
with For Honor.
progression. Yeah, absolutely, I get
Yeah,
that.
there is mastery. I can
but
tell you
at the
that.
same time, it just felt like this is all there is to the game. Yeah, there is nothing more. Take it or leave it, and that to me doesn't feel like a £40 game. A bit like the Battlefield. When that first came out, this is the game. Take it or leave it. We're going to give you some more game modes in DLC. You're going to have to pay some more for it. And it's this one mechanic in a game. Just doesn't feel like it's worth its money anymore. Feels to me like games need to be offering more than that.
No, I would agree 100% if companies would do that.
Well, the thing is that people buy these games year on year. Assassin's Creed, in my eyes, the location has changed. The game hasn't for the last 10 years.
Well, I'd say, because if you want stuff to be crazy exciting, then get rid of all of these companies and be like, today we're going to just talk to nothing but indie developers for the next 3 hours.
No, but these games companies make money.
Yes.
It's
Tons
one
of
of the biggest selling industries in the whole entire world. And it's one of the fastest growing. These people make money. Some of them more than others. But if they can't take a risk, then who can?
Yeah, it's like the movie industry.
Yep.
But Ubisoft are one of the ones that really, to me, absolutely highlight it year after year. They'll make a new game, but it's still the same game. Go to this place, unlock this, and then you can do some more in this area. But it's the same as what you just did in the last area. I know that's how games work to a point. but let's do something different. Let's find something different other than, I remember when probably Far Cry 3, whatever Assassin's Creed was out at that point in time, and Watch Dogs were all out, or maybe Far Cry 4. And every single one of them was, you need to go to this tower, hack the server, climb the top of the tower, or speak to an eagle, or whatever it was in Assassin's Creed. and then you got to unlock what was going on the map. I'm like, it's a gameplay mechanic. I get it. It extends the gameplay, fine, but do something different, anything.
I was going to say, because you mentioned towers with them all the time. Taking Ubisoft out of the equation after looking, there's a lot of towers in just every game ever.
Yeah. But then GTA, great example.
There's a lot of towers.
Yeah, but GTA, there is nothing that stops you going anywhere you want. I think in older games they did it, but there's nothing that stops you from doing what you want where you want to do it. And that's where we are now. Not, your gameplay is stopped because you haven't climbed a tower or you haven't hacked a server, or it just agitates me, clearly. One thing we didn't mention, actually, which we should have done, Crackdown.
Yeah.
Which is a Microsoft, I assume, exclusive. We know we mentioned it, but we didn't really speak about the views of it.
I had a lot of fun with Crackdown.
Crackdown or Crackdown 2?
Yes, Crackdown 2 specifically, because that's the one I played more of. That's the one I got to really play the most.
Okay.
I only got to play a little bit of Crackdown.
I'm very concerned for Crackdown. I'm really concerned that however many years since the last Crackdown, nothing will have changed.
That part's probably true. That one probably hasn't changed much.
And
it will probably look a bit prettier, and that's probably about it.
But things have moved on in my head, and that's what worries me. Is I think nothing will have changed. It was fun. It was fun for I tell you what, it reminds me of. What are the zombie games that came a Microsoft exclusive when it first came out, where you get to drive cars
Dead
around.
Rising?
Yes, they remind me of that. It's kind of, you can kill these things any way you want, but that gets a bit boring after a while.
Well, luckily, with at least the original Dead Rising, they had like extreme time limits on everything, so you were always. Now they don't have that, so now it's just kill zombies.
But you know what? That used to really wind me up. The extreme time limits used to drive me mad, because I'm like, I bought this game to be able to play it at my speed, and then as soon as they got rid of it, I was like, this is now a bit boring.
And see, for me, I love the time limit. It's like, oh crap, I got to get this, and this done. But then if I want to get this, I got to. I don't know.
Yeah, but it just felt like you were missing stuff. When, in truth be told, you weren't missing anything,
except for a lot of people to save.
Because it's the same game, over and over, the same mechanic over and over and over again. Here's lots of zombies, kill them with a hammer, kill them with a sword, kill them with a rubber duck, that sort of thing. But I think it added something. Whereas when I played it, I thought it detracted from it. Anyway, sorry about that. I thought we should probably cover that, just in case anyone had any views on it. Anything else to say on Ubisoft?
It's open to make some good games.
I'd like to see one that interests me. I would love to see one that holds my interest for more than an hour. I'd love to see one that I don't feel like I've played before. That's what I'd like to see.
I mean, so you keep talking about GTA 5 all the time as your go-to game, because it's like your all-time favorite games now.
Mm-hmm.
Opinions on Red Dead Redemption 2?
Very much looking forward to it.
Because I loved the original Red Dead. I would say, for me personally, Red Dead Redemption might have been my all-time favorite Rockstar game.
I'm very much looking forward to it.
Vice City is up there.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it, but at the same time, it's not GTA.
That's true. It's not. You have to play it in a completely different way.
But one of the things that I love about GTA is just how busy it is, what's going on, the characters, that sort of stuff. And I know the characters will be good, because they always are. Yeah. The writing will be good, because it always is.
Beautiful. Yeah, writing's always good.
It will look fantastic, because it always does. They've done the right thing in delaying it to get it right. All those things tick all the boxes, but it's different to GTA, and I love GTA. That's basically what it boils down to. I think it will still be good, and it will still be a maybe not as compelling story as the first. Maybe not.
Red Dead Redemption had a very good story.
maybe not as compelling story as GTA. I thought the GTA 5 story was very good, but all of the stories have always been good. But one of the things that I really like about GTA is just the writing, and it's easier to make jokes now in the modern world than it is in that Wild West scenario. But I'm really looking forward to it. And one of the reasons for that is it's so different.
Yeah, and I loved everything about the original. Even multiplayer was great in that game because there was for what it is and how the world is supposed to be. There was so much to do.
Yeah. I always a big fan of capturing people, tying them to the back of the horse, riding them over to the train track, and leaving them on the train track. Just over and over and over again. I could do that.
Did you
which
ever
is
get off
ridiculous.
of a horse and leave that on the train track?
Yeah, everybody
they
did.
explode. It's crazy.
Yeah, and then that's the thing is that's the beauty of those games, and when you're talking Ubisoft, the best thing they did was make dogs poo in the street. And that's
okay. Well, first off, it's called Assassin's Creed 3. No, I totally get your concern with Ubisoft games.
I mean, to be fair,
there's a lot of stale.
But that criticism could be leveled at all of the developers. It's just visually, Ubisoft are, to me, by far the worst for it. That's also taking into account EA, who at least
I think EA might be for me.
Yeah, but EA have a reason to release a sports game every year because of people moving clubs, because of transfers. They can get away with it. Is what I'm saying.
They could always just put out a patch.
But they can get away with it. Whereas Assassin's Creed being the same game over and over again, the only thing that changes is the architecture.
But if I say the thing with like the sports games, a lot of times you always do like the top thing on there's like new and improved weather physics.
I mean, I love
it's
that.
Like the selling points are always ridiculous things.
I love it. Like the players now have emotions. Yep. You're like, what?
Yeah, more sweat per gallon. So
yeah,
what does that mean?
I don't know, but my pants are coming off at that one. Shit.
Yeah,
so we were just talking about. Sorry, carry on.
I think it was way back in 2015 or 14 for, I think it was one of the Madden games, that if a player was hurt in real life, it would affect that player in the game.
Yeah,
that could add a new fun dynamic to the game.
No, but they do that in FIFA. They have 4.
Yeah.
Don't they? So if you're
no, but I'm saying that like if this player got hurt in real life, that would affect him in the game as well.
I think it'd be cool if you're in the middle of a match and that happens.
Yeah.
Anything from you, Jesse, about Ubisoft?
I'm like I said, I'm just intrigued to see what that game turns out to be, the Kingdom Battle thing. And I think that's my biggest one. And I've been looking forward to the South Park RPG for a while now.
Yeah, we should probably just touch on that because I kind of pushed it away originally because my concern with Ubisoft is they make the same games. However, South Park I'm looking forward to. I think we're all looking forward to because it's South Park.
And it was so good.
Yeah, it really was. Really was. It was such a good game. And this new one looks like an improvement on the same thing. They
improved on the combat for sure.
And I actually thought the combat was really good for Stick of Truth.
Yeah, it was. And
some wacky game, but it was really good.
Apparently, they've improved on it.
It'll be interesting to see how, if any of the writing is based on real life events, because obviously that's what South Park is.
Yeah.
But with the delays, what that means.
I think it kind of might be because this theme is going to be superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and there's been
luckily
a lot
those
of,
are going to be going constantly for the next 4 years.
There's been a lot of superhero stuff.
One of the big sellers of South Park series is that
it's satire.
And it's so current. It's so current.
Well, that's because they write it the week of.
No, that's what I'm saying. And does some of that get lost potentially, or do they avoid it in a South Park game because you can't keep it current? And that is a question. But I can't remember too much in Stick of Truth that went down that road.
Honestly, I think Matt and Trey do a really good job as far as that goes. I think though, they'll know what to put in and what not to put in. I think I have nothing but high hopes for that game.
Question on whether Trump will make an appearance.
I would
Um,
have to say yes.
I feel like at this point they probably would. Yeah.
Yeah,
It feels like
probably.
he has to, in my eyes.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see.
That
Anyway,
or they'll just avoid that whole section altogether. I don't know.
yeah, quite possibly. Okay, should we move on?
Yep. Sure.
Sure.
The next one after that is the same day on Monday at 6 p.m. PT is the Sony press conference. Seems like this year Sony doesn't have that much of addition of much to show off.
Yeah, I will say that
Yeah.
until last year, I was constantly because like the PS4, there wasn't really much for me on it. Like
Mhm.
most of it that I'd see people be like, "Oh, you should try this." It was usually like an anime game or something like that, which I've just never really gotten into JRPGs as much, or any type of, with the exception of maybe like Fire Emblems or Kingdom Hearts. I love those games, but a lot of turn-based stuff, which unless it's tactics, I've never really gotten into. But then they started showing some of the stuff like the Spider-Man game, which I'm assuming they're probably going to show this year as well. And
Yeah.
that looked awesome.
Yeah, graphically that looks incredible.
And I mean, if I think back, pretty much every Spider-Man game is great. Is this one also being made by Treyarch like the ones were, or has they got a new company for?
I don't know.
Give me 1 second.
Do not know.
One game that is coming out.
Oh wait, I could probably click on.
Be there is
Developer is Insomniac Games.
Oh, okay.
one of the games that is I've seen. I think was there last year. Is a game called Days Gone, which is like a zombie open world game, which looks pretty cool. I have to say. I don't know what I can like in it.
Sounds like it.
I guess from a look, it looks a bit like The Last of Us, but
Okay.
more freeform sort of combat rather than the cover mechanic. It looks a bit more open, but that looks pretty good. I have to say.
That sounds good.
I guess the Final Fantasy VII remake is supposed to be an exclusive, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
I think.
But
that was there last year.
Yeah, but so is Spider-Man, but it's still not out yet.
Yeah.
There's a new Uncharted game coming. I know that much.
Yeah. Also, Go ahead.
Isn't going to feature Nathan Drake, as far as we're aware,
No, I don't think it is either.
or whether he has a cameo, possibly. But that should be interesting
I'm thinking
to see
he's
what that
gonna.
looks like.
Yeah, I can imagine him having a cameo in the beginning,
Yeah,
and then it will trail off.
and then obviously just in terms of other exclusives, I think God of War is probably the only other one that springs to mind.
One
Let
that I'm
me
excited-
read off a list real quick. This isn't all of the exclusives, but this is going to be a good chunk of them from what this list that I see. 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim for Vita and PS4.
No idea.
Got a
No idea.
Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, which is just a remake of the 3 original Crash Bandicoot games, but I guess in HD.
Yep.
Days Gone, which Scott already talked about a bit. The new God of War.
which should
Gran
be good.
Turismo Sport.
Gran Turismo, which is one I'm excited for.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it, but I don't know why.
Because it's their version of Forza.
Yeah.
But I've got Forza. That's why I
That's-
don't know why.
It's
Mhm.
one thing that I'm looking forward to is they've confirmed that it's gonna have VR support, which is I actually already have 2 VR racing games on the PS4, and they're both
Ooh.
fucking amazing. And I just there's something about getting behind the wheel of an actual car in a game like that. It's gonna be awesome. And I've been playing Gran Turismo since the first one, so to get into a Gran Turismo like that, I'm down. I am
Yeah,
down.
Interesting. It's also a exclusive. The title of it is called Senran Kugo Peach Beach Splash.
Okay, let's
is
move
the-
on.
The full title, and it's not what you expect. It's the genre of it is a third-person shooter.
Uh-huh.
I clicked on it, and I
They
see a
have-
woman in a bikini holding what looks like a super soaker.
I
It's
won't
a-
ask what you're shooting.
It looks
a
like
water
an
gun.
adult version of Splatoon.
Yeah,
is what I'm thinking this is going to be.
there's something about attribute cards where you're gonna have there's gonna be a
Yeah.
collectible card type thing mechanic or something.
Right now, I
Sounds
feel like all we're
interesting.
doing is just reading a list.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see. We got Spider-Man, which we briefly talked
Yeah.
about. Uncharted and Yakuza 6.
Yeah, and I know that's a series that like Matt, James, and Alex are all fans of.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing there that really floats my boat, if I'm honest with you.
There could be a bit more, but from
The
my
one
list.
I'm really excited about is The Last of Us 2, which we know
that looks really good.
We know is delayed until some point next year, so
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll see a clip of it. Probably nothing more than that.
Yeah, it's not exclusive, but I do believe it will have exclusive content when it launches. But Destiny 2, I believe, is going to have a
But
good bit of
Destiny 2 will also have exclusive content for the Xbox.
Yeah, but usually PlayStation will have a lot more.
No, I'm sure they'll just end up having two different sets of exclusive content, which makes the whole thing completely pointless.
No, I mean that's what they did with Destiny 1 originally. Is PlayStation had a lot more, and Xbox had like one or two things, but eventually those went over to the PlayStation.
And I'd refer back to when does any additional content make anything any better at launch? I can't think of any. I can't think of any times it actually happened. But I'm really glad I spent that extra $30 to get this other costume. Although that game you were mentioning with the Super Soakers, maybe that would be worth the DLC or the.
Yeah, that's just exclusive for
the lack of costume.
PlayStation.
Allow you to shoot more.
Yeah. Okay.
or shoot
that's
off
the joke.
things. Yep. Well, no.
It's good to explain.
I was going a different way. Anyway, that seems to be about it for the PlayStation, and then rounding up
Sonic.
Well, there is a bunch of Sonic.
There are, but Sonic Mania is the one I'm looking at because I liked Sonic 1, I like Sonic 2, I like Sonic 3, and I like Sonic and Knuckles. Spinball was okay.
I liked Spinball.
No, I had fun with it. The music just got a little grating on the ears.
That's fair.
Yeah, I can.
Sonic 4 was a dirty trick where they tried to convince people it was the classic style. It wasn't.
Yeah, they failed on that.
Sonic Generations is like they attempted it, but it still wasn't fully. Hopefully this one will be, and it looks really neat. It's the first time in over 20 years I've been like, oh, cool, a Sonic game.
Yeah, we'll see how it is.
Yeah.
I have nothing to add.
That's fine.
You don't want to make your own Sonic original character?
Oh, I'm gonna play as probably Sonic or Knuckles or Tails. I don't need a character. That's stupid.
I was actually talking to Scott with that one.
Can you make him look like Mario?
What?
You probably
can you actually create your own character in it?
No, I think it's the other Sonic game that you can do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did see it a few days ago.
Sonic, woo.
Well, after that excitement,
Scott seems the only one done with that one. Oh boy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Nintendo's on top of the world.
Do they have a Zelda game coming out?
I think they'll be announcing some updates for Zelda, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I think they're gonna add updates for Breath of the Wild, which includes New Game Plus.
Yep. There's also armor sets that they're having, and some new
armor sets, new dungeons, and a new mythical beast as well that I think will be linked to the dungeons or something like that.
Yeah, the only thing that Nintendo really does for me anymore is their handheld stuff. So, new Fire Emblem game coming for 3DS. That's something I'm, excited to see. Yeah. It's Fire Emblem Warriors though is the current one, and that's the one that's like the like Samurai Warriors and all those, isn't it?
Is it? That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I like the Tactics One Life type style. That's
I'm
the Fire
interested-
Emblems.
I'm
enjoy.
interested to see how many games that are new get announced for Switch.
There's a lot.
Do you mean new as in new entirely,
New,
or do you mean
new,
like
new,
Mario
new,
Smash?
No,
Okay.
yeah, that I couldn't have played on 17 different consoles previously.
Okay, then yeah, I don't see much of that. Splatoon 2. I mean, that was only on one console, right? Or two of them. I don't know.
It was only on one. Yep, it was only on the Wii U.
You know, out of all the games, Mario Odyssey intrigues me, but you know,
It
it's not.
doesn't
Yeah.
have anything.
I don't think it's anywhere near worth buying a console for.
No, probably not.
Probably
And-
There's
not.
a new Pokken tournament, which I played
Yeah,
the first one.
And Splatoon is probably the only other game that I think would be a huge amount of fun to play with you guys. But again,
Yes.
not worth buying a Wii U or a Switch for. So
Well, it's
Yeah.
only going to be on
Yeah.
on Switch, so
no, but the original.
I gotcha.
I just think it's one of those things where they need to get me on board. They need to do something other than Zelda, other than Mario, that makes me think. You know what? Nintendo are making good games that aren't the same game. That
I
have
think
been
I
remade for
heard,
the last 15 years.
They might rumor a new Metroid game.
But that's what he's just talking about not doing.
You know, there must be people in Nintendo who are creative. You know, there must be something they can do and say, you know what? Let's make a brand new game and have some people work on it.
Yeah, I mean, if they went with even more Zelda games, I'd be more interested.
Maybe. I mean, Nintendo doesn't really
there's-
do that too often.
Yeah, but that's the point, Kyle, is that they don't do it. Why don't they do it? You know, the
There's
one thing that
one
Nintendo have had
listed-
going for them for years is that they were the creator of Zelda, of Metroid, of
Mario, they got
of
Kirby, they got
all that stuff, which was my youth. All that stuff are massive characters in my growing up, and then they've got to a point where they can't make anything new.
Actually, you know what? There is a new game coming for the Switch that is very interesting and very fresh. Arms. Arms is coming out, which is I'm not sure if it's actually developed by Nintendo. It's a Switch exclusive.
yes, it's developed by Nintendo.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that I actually got a chance to play in the open beta. They were doing some testing on it, and that took me by surprise. It's a fighting game in which you're basically the player's arms can extend away from their body, like 20 feet. Okay. But the thing is, I don't know if you've seen the Switch controllers, but you can have two of them type of deal. So you actually have to make a punching motion in order to have your character punch in the game. And it controls kind of like those old tank games where you move both sticks to the left to move to the left, move both sticks to the right to move to the right, and then you're punching like that. It took me by surprise. It's actually a pretty fun game.
Yeah, but Nintendo already made a game that's similar to that. Not as polished as ARMS, but very similar with Wii Boxing.
Okay, all right, but it's Arms is
ARMS is a very over polished Wii Boxing, I will say.
I was going to say the idea of punching by punching in real life doesn't seem too crazy anymore. And with everything Nintendo's done since the original Wii Plus, even the Power Glove, I guess, but even all the VR and stuff. And at first I thought you were going to start describing a game like Dive Kick, where it's all you can do is the one move and punch.
Yeah, jumping kick.
Yeah, no, it's not like that. Like I said, I went into the test not feeling it, and it took me by surprise.
I'm just going to go and say it. Nintendo doesn't excite me or interest me anymore, I don't think. I get that they're trying to do different things, but it's not the Switch. The only thing that's different about the Switch is you can take it with you.
No, yeah, that's absolutely fun. I mean, like I said, Nintendo's got games that they're, as you say, keep making it. Like Zelda, I enjoy those. Fire Emblem, I enjoy those. But I'm not going to go out and buy the Switch to, play Zelda.
Yeah, I mean,
and nothing else.
I haven't played Breath of the Wild. Let's be honest. I'm probably missing out, but I'm okay with missing out. I think that's the weird thing, is that I'm not that much of a fanboy that I needed to jump on that bandwagon and play it instantly. And at the same time, I loved the Zelda games when I was younger. But I just feel like I don't know what I want from Nintendo. I want something big, and the Switch isn't it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
You want him to take a risk.
Yeah, but I think that can be said for everyone that we've spoken about already.
Yep.
You know, as I said before, with maybe the exception of Nintendo until recently, these people make a lot of money. You know, these games, you know, I know it takes a huge amount of effort to make games and sell games and develop games, but the industry is so big that there's a lot of money to be made. And I get the feeling that one of those that takes the risk and gets it right is going to make the most money. But none of them dare take the risk.
Yeah, unfortunately.
You know, and then you look at what, you know I go on about Rockstar a lot. You look what they're doing with Red Dead. They can say, you know what, we'll put it back. We'll put it back because we want it to be right. You know, none of the other developers can do that.
Yeah.
To a point.
Yeah.
Well, they did it with the whatchamacallit game, South Park game. Got pushed back. They were originally going to have it out sometime.
Yeah, I wonder how much of that was in their hands.
No.
Yeah,
They
how
weren't-
much of it was they weren't happy with it, and how much of it was the creators of South Park weren't happy with it.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, probably a bit of both.
You know,
I would
and
even
think-
go so far as to say it was probably more the creators of South Park.
Absolutely. In which
Yeah.
case it's out of Ubisoft's hands. If they say, well, we're not going to have your content on time because we're not happy with it, then they don't have a game to put out.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm speculating, but that would be my assumption. You know,
I agree with you 100%. On that note, that's all the big press conferences. Then, of course, there's all the little, you know, other smaller ones that are single game ones. Anything standing out to anyone in all the lists?
should we talk about the big one, Destiny 2?
So Destiny 2 is something I'd like to see.
Yeah.
Should we talk about Destiny 2? What's people's opinions, views?
I had fun playing Destiny. So
I did too.
and Destiny 2, I mean, they got the mechanics of the old Halo. They know what they're doing. Bungie, you know, they got the game mechanics down for a fun shooter.
Can I
So they keep
go as
it up
far to
ahead.
say that you're probably going to see Destiny played by me, Jesse, and Jordan on our channels?
can see that.
I think that's pretty fair to say.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not gonna day one get it or anything, but I see myself after I see what the game looks like, I'll probably pick it up. Yeah.
I'm sure we will.
Destiny is one of those games that I liked. There was bits of it I really didn't like because it felt sloppy based on
Fine,
how
Scott,
much.
I'll pre-order it.
there's bits that really I didn't like the starting the levels in exactly the same place. I know I mentioned that quite a lot, but it just felt sloppy. It felt way too easy for a game that had that much money and effort, and the fact that the story didn't really exist
Mhm.
were the two
Yeah, I will
things that
give you
really
that. When
got to me. But
when
that
Destiny
being said,
first launched,
carry on. Sorry.
yeah, when Destiny first launched, it did have a rocky beginning and literally had no storyline. Like the only way for you to get storyline is by picking up cards called grimoires, I believe. But
I think-
but with expansions and DLC is they've rewritten that there's actually a story that brings you into Destiny 2.
I think the other thing, if you take away the hype, the money that was spent on creating the game, and it had come out, people would have been happy with it, really happy with it.
Yeah. And people trying to make assumptions of what it was.
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
whole, oh my god,
Yeah.
it's an MMO, and they're like, it's not an MMO, but you can jump in and out of each other's game. And they're like, oh my god, an MMO.
Yeah.
What people didn't understand is that Destiny is a combination of Destiny 1 was
It's a vast
more
multiplayer
of a
FPS.
first-person shooter with MMO aspects.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
a
think-
multiplayer first-person RPG.
Yeah. I believe with Destiny 2, they're going a bit more on the MMO side.
Please don't.
Well, I mean that with your skills that you can do. Like your abilities.
The one thing I would say about Destiny is it didn't feel like a grind, even though you were doing the same thing over and over and over again. Because the shooting mechanics were that good. It was always fun to play. I will say that.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what I was getting at. But then the part that also surprised me is they have all these ridiculously leveled weapons and stuff that But whenever you versed other people, you didn't like it. They found a way to make it balanced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I will say that. I'll wait and see what it actually
Yeah, exactly.
what they actually do with it, but I'm looking forward to
But
it.
I think it'll be. I think that and Red Dead are the two games I'm looking forward to. Like that,
Yeah,
are my big games.
I don't believe Red Dead is going to be there this year. From what I've seen and everything like that, I think they're waiting off to make any big Red Dead announcement.
I'd be surprised if it's there. If anything, it will be like
more than
simple,
talking about it, not the actual game being there.
or it will be a simple scene of someone walking along some sand
Well, I'm just
and a shot of a town, and that'll be it. You know, that sort of
I'm
thing.
just basing it off of the list of confirmed E3 2017 games we're looking at.
The kind of thing that that Rockstar do well. You know, that little teaser that hits the nail on the head.
Yeah,
Like
they
they
might have like
originally
a
did with
5-minute
it.
teaser or something.
I
5
reckon
minute
it'll
would
be.
be crazy.
I reckon you're talking 30 seconds.
I think 30
at most.
seconds. Yeah.
But yes, I'm looking forward to that. Shadow of War.
Yep.
Yeah, Jordan, you said you were interested in that.
Yeah, I love Shadow of Mordor.
I'm interested in it. I with these games, one thing that really agitates me by these games is I feel like which is their job, they oversell everything.
Well, one of the good things about Shadow of Mordor is there were just so many towers you could climb.
Yeah, indeed. But also, you know, like, oh, you can infiltrate the army and you can make massive differences. In all honesty, you couldn't. And they're doing the same thing again. Like, oh, you can turn this person against this person, and you know,
I don't know. I did that quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, you could do it, but it didn't really make much difference.
Oh, well, it did after I turned every one of the orcs into my slaves, and then they were all like my buddies.
It's because you're just weird.
Yeah, well, I was playing politics, but with goblins.
So yes, I'm looking forward to that. I just get the feeling that we might be oversold in the trailers about how amazing you can turn the tides of war, and then actually
easily.
You can't. You know, and that's what worries me a little bit.
I mean, that's like how most trailers are these days.
That's how they've always been.
One thing that's just popped into my head that I haven't seen anything mentioned anywhere, but is it CD Projekt Red?
Probably.
The Witcher developer?
Okay.
I got the box like right behind me.
I think it's Project Red.
What about them?
Are we going to see anything from them?
Well, they have their
yes, it is CD Projekt Red. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Are we going to see anything from them? I wonder, in terms of a new game.
I think they might like do a glimpse and then like in the next few years.
The Cyberpunk 2077 game or whatever I think is by them.
Oh, is it?
That will be interesting to see what you follow up The Witcher with. Take away Gwent. What you follow up The Witcher with will be really interesting to see.
Yeah. Yeah, Jordan, what was the name of that game again?
Cyberpunk 2077. There's not really much on it other than they got it on the list of things. And they said that it's going to be played from either a first or third person.
Well, not to date this again, but the news that I've got from 4 hours ago, CD Projekt Red Cyberpunk 2077 game has been hijacked by real cyberpunk punks. Witcher developer says Cyberpunk 2077 internal files are being held for ransom.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Well,
that's kind of awesome.
But it will include a multiplayer component, but it's going to have a single player story. It's in an open world metropolis called Night City.
I'm just really intrigued to find out what that is. You know, in terms of what
it's
you
weird
do
the
from
information they have yet don't have. Like they don't know the style of game or their perspective, but they have the game will feature non-English speaking characters. Players who do not speak the language can buy translator implants to better comprehend them depending on the advancement of the implant.
Interesting.
And the quality depends on how expensive it is and more accurate. It would be great if it's like real money. It's like, screw you.
No.
But yeah, no, that popped in. They popped into my head speaking about things we haven't spoken about. And I'm just interested to see what they've got to move forward with.
Braindance, a digital recording device streamed directly into the brain, allows player characters to experience the emotions, brain process, and muscle movements of another person as though they were their own.
Is that like an extra controller, or
I don't know? I'm more wondering about the masturbation aspect. I'll be honest, but
Is that something that we as a human wear, or you?
I'm assuming this is the
game.
character because I don't want to
Yeah.
get stabbed.
Yeah.
Anything else from anyone? Anything that springs to mind? Looking at a list of other things, there's Call of Duty.
Yeah.
You know what? Actually, for the first time in probably a decade, I'm quite excited about World War II return.
Yeah, it's weird that they're at least the current like code name for it is World War II, considering that's what they just were. I mean, I'm a history buff. I love the World War II era, but I don't really care as much anymore. Some of the, I don't know, the Infinity or whatever the one that came out last time seemed neat whenever I saw the original trailer for it.
But I'm basing a lot of my playing of Call of Duty on World at War. And I really enjoyed that game, and I'm hoping this is
I
something
thought World
similar.
at War was based on Vietnam.
Yeah, no, I know it was, but it's back to an era where you're not firing a gun that fires 7,000 bullets a minute.
I see. I see.
You know, that principle more than,
Yeah.
you know. I like that idea more than anything else.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I'm not
no,
sure. What was it? No, was it Vietnam?
I thought it was.
No, it wasn't. It was World War.
Which one was the Vietnam one? Was
I
that
don't know.
Black Ops? No, I don't know.
No.
I don't think there was one. I just think it was based in the war in that part of the world.
Maybe.
I don't know. Then this is the problem when we're talking about games that are released far too often.
Yeah.
Ah. Sledgehammer Games teased Call of Duty Vietnam. Maybe that was it.
There you go.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, there you go. World at War.
One that I'm kind of interested to see what comes of it is this game called Concept Revolt. I'm hoping it's a revival of an old game from the PS2 era.
And that is CULDCEPT.
Yes, sir. Concept. And basically the concept of the game back then, which I never got a chance to play, always wanted to, just never had the gear to do it. But it's a card game, like you say Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh or whatever. But you use the PlayStation camera and you play with actual cards in your hand. And when you play them on your table, the camera puts them into the game. It was a neat concept, and it never really took off. And I'm interested to see what they're going to be doing with that IP and see what comes of it.
I'm surprised you're not excited about Call of Cthulhu.
That I'm excited about as well, actually.
It's the video game adaptation of the old pen and paper game.
Ooh. That sounds amazing. I'm down.
Now,
I've always loved... Go ahead.
Interesting looking at the rest of the schedule. There's 6 unannounced AAA titles on the list.
Yep.
That's neat.
Now, we probably have covered some of those maybe in what we've spoken about.
Probably.
But
Yeah.
same time, I don't really know. I'm intrigued to see what they are. But that also goes along with like Xbox One games and PlayStation games that also feature in the last few days of the expo. So, it'd be interesting to see what some of those games are.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure they're fairly obvious, and people will probably shout saying, "What was this one?" Obviously, you moron. But off the top of my head, I can't think of any that. I think this is one thing that worries me, is that I can't think of too many games that are coming out that I'm particularly excited by from big developers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything that excites me at this moment in time is indie driven.
Yeah.
I mean, it has been for a few years. To be
fair. They have
fair.
that freedom to make gamble, and
Mhm.
Yeah, Scott, I think one of the question mark games might be Borderlands 3.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see, actually.
Yeah.
I've always
Alright.
loved the Borderlands series.
Yeah, they're okay games.
I
Same.
could never get into them.
Here's a question
You
for you.
didn't like the art style, right, Jordan? And that's
Yeah,
your reason?
I didn't. That was
Alright,
one of
yeah.
the reasons. I also just didn't have fun playing it. But yeah, the art style definitely was a big to me.
Do you think we'll see anything from Hello Games,
Why do you think
I
you just say
don't-
Hello Kitty?
the makers of No Man's Sky?
Oh, God.
Maybe.
No, they're in hiding, I bet.
Maybe they'll
I mean,
have
their
some more
most
stuff for
recent
No Man's Sky.
updates with No Man's Sky has brought them Like they kind of made the game a bit better.
I mean, it says No Man's Sky improvements to be announced by Hello Games at E3.
Oh,
And that was 6 hours ago.
I didn't read that. I'm just going to throw that out there. I did not read it.
Well, yeah, there you go, Scott.
There you go. I should be like a games
Yeah.
thing. I should be a gamesman.
A games thingman. Oh,
Gameskeeper.
Oh, cool.
that's good. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. All right, Scott, you are now officially SMG's Gameskeeper.
Oh, hold on. Does that mean I have to look after the frog? I
I
take that
Yes.
back. I'm not interested. I quit.
Oh man, shortest lived ever.
Still counts.
Gameskeeper.
Okay, should we sum this
All right.
up? Is there anything last? I guess let's go round. What are you most looking forward to, Jesse?
It's tough to say. I loved Crackdown, so I'm excited to see that one. Obviously, the Destiny 2.
One
I-
game. Come on, Jesse.
Honestly, it's what hasn't been listed. I want that one exciting game that no one saw coming, that everyone's just like, oh. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm looking
Fire,
forward
you're
to.
the
I want to
dragon.
be surprised.
A new
Kyle?
Twisted Metal. Oh.
Is there really any games in particular that I'm interested in? But out of the big companies, I'm interested to see what Bethesda, Sony, Nintendo will be doing.
So 3/4 of E3.
Or it's like half.
Jordan.
Ubisoft. No, yeah, Rockstar. I'm going to go with Red Dead.
And Scott?
Ubisoft. Sure. Definitely. I don't think we're going to see anything from Rockstar, if I'm really honest.
No, but I want even if we can get some type of day of when they think the next release date could be for Red Dead.
I'm fairly sure, now I can't back this up anywhere, but I'm fairly sure I read somewhere that they confirmed that there's not going to be any Red Dead coverage at E3.
Something else I would like to see there is Kingdom Hearts 3, but I highly doubt that's going to happen.
From my point of view, I don't know. There's
Yeah, maybe.
It's going to be a new game. You know, I've banged on about people trying new things. There's going to be a new game. One of these unannounced titles is probably going to be that Detroit something or other, which is a game about sort of cyborgs living in with humanity and the moral choices that they have to make. That looks quite interesting, but at the same time, strikes me a little bit of what was the game that came out for the Xbox recently where time stops and you quantum something or other.
Quantum Leap?
Oh, yeah, no, Quantum Solace.
Oh.
Isn't that a James Bond film?
It was
No.
also a James Bond film. Yes. No, yeah.
Is it called Quantum, or did I just make that up because it is like Quantum Leap?
I'm pretty sure it was Solace. Quantum Solace.
Yeah, I think you are right on that.
No,
Scott.
that's the James Bond film.
That's Quantum of Solace. No?
What?
Okay. There's a James
There's
Bond
got to
film,
be some. No,
Quantum
but there's got to be
I'm
some
not even-
copyright thing.
No,
there.
I'm
what-
not even sure it's.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure it's Quantum.
Of Do.
No, what you're right. No.
Quantum Break.
Yeah, Quantum Break.
That's what I said.
Oh, did you? I didn't hear you.
You said Quantum Leap.
That's the same thing.
No, Quantum Leap was like
Did I
a
say
TV
leap?
program.
Oh, yeah.
You might have.
In
Or
my mind, I
maybe
said-
maybe
in
you
my
said
mind-
Quantum Break and I heard Quantum Leap. I don't know.
Or I said Quantum Leap, and in my mind thought I said Quantum Break.
Anyway,
If
I'm
one more
worried
person
that it's,
says Quantum.
I'm worried it's going to turn out like that.
Jesse, you should censor what we say there so we never have the answer.
Yes.
Okay, well there you go.
Yeah.
What now, Jesse?
Yeah, I think
Right,
that
now on to the podcast about Marvel movies.
yes, the Marvel cast. No, I think that about does it for this afternoon. It's definitely a longer podcast, but we had a lot to get through. You know, there's a lot of interesting things, and hopefully next week we'll be able to come back to you with an
Cars
actual
3 the
wrap
game.
off. An actual wrap up of what actually did go down as far as E3, and that should be exciting.
Yeah,
So,
we can talk about stuff that we actually liked and things that we called were going to be on there.
Yeah, exciting news. I think WWE have got like a 2-hour slot booked in.
Oh,
Yeah, I
shit.
saw that too.
Should be good.
It's going to
That
be
will be
them
nice.
making one character. I found
Sounds
out how
good
long
to
that-
me.
It's I think it's our.
No, I don't know. I was only making up. They're going to play mobile games.
And saying that, you know how cool it would be to see them just make an entire part where they just take a picture of some random person in the audience and then take the remainder of the time turning that person into John Cena.
Yeah, Scott, it's an hour.
I could see it happening.
So
Well-
30 minutes making a character, 15 to
Loading
10 minutes.
screens.
No, 15 to 10 minutes is setting up the game type.
Oh,
then
yeah, I
the
forgot
rest-
about that.
Yeah, the rest is the game itself.
Whenever I
Could
played
see it.
17, the loading screens were forever.
That's a standard of 2K Sports, though.
Yeah. Well, then again, I also made every part of it, so I guess it'll load all that.
That's fair.
One of the things I like about the WWE games when they come out is they put like one old wrestler on the cover, and
Yeah.
then he makes it. Then he
Yeah.
sort of makes a reappearance into wrestling.
Mhm.
Like I think this year was like Goldberg. Last year was the Ultimate Warrior who came back and then unfortunately died.
Yeah.
I wonder who it'll be this year.
Jeff Hardy.
Mankind.
I reckon it'll be China.
Oh, no. She unfortunately died before.
Oh, well, they can still bring it back. Is Paul Bearer around?
Oh, God.
This is
On
still
that
the
note,
Kane Undertaker thing.
Chris Benoit.
Chris Benoit balls.
No? Eddie Guerrero? He's around, surely.
Sure.
Oh, man.
What? Why are you acting so weird?
Our newest wrestler, Paul Walker. Until next time, everybody.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Kyle,
Bye.
Jordan,
Later, everybody.
Scott,
Bye.
and I have, of course, been Jesse. Thanks for listening, everyone, and we'll see you next time.